So we're just running through Harry's body comp. So we've got a scan back when he started training and a scan today. The scans, I'll post clips of these scans up so you can see the difference. There's a reduction of 5.3 kilos in fat mass. However, that's not a true reduction. He has dropped body fat. He's dropped about 2 kilos of body fat. However, the water, and this is a really good thing. Our water and carbs are up. You're in race season, so your volume of training has gone up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. He's well hydrated. It's the hottest day of the year today as well. You can probably see I'm sweating. I'm just sat here.
Absolutely.
Okay. The weight is pretty much the same. This is why I'm using these two scans, 75.8 to 75.9. So it's very positive body composition changes. And realistically, all your training, the bulk of your training is triathlon right now.
Yeah.
And the weight training is just for the kettlebell, right? And a bit of body weight.
Yeah, that's about it.
And that's it. So there's no loss in muscle mass, which is good. We're not going catabolic, we're not eating into our muscle mass. And we're not really dialing in anything nutritionally either, which bodes really well. However, we haven't got much left to play with at 4.8 kilos of fat. So body fat percentage today about 6.4, okay, super lean.
Yeah.
So we've just got to make sure that you're getting enough fats, enough carbohydrates in your diet alongside your protein, because your reserves are pretty low, okay? So this is going to be interesting. We're going to, at the end of this season, we're going to start working more nutrition, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, and get that out. But that just gives you a little update of where we are as of today. And when's the next big race?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to make sure that we're really well fueled for that. Okay, and this is why so many people hit walls and things, because they're poorly hydrated, number one, and they're poorly fueled. All right. Okay, so what we're looking for Harry, so he's been in a really hard kind of, race thing. We've got 3 weeks recovery. Obviously, you're down in Ecuador most of the time, aren't you? Okay. Yeah. And the body's just feeling a bit grr.
Yeah.
So the first thing we want to look at is some soft tissue work. So what I want you to do, you're going to just use a foam roller, you're going to come up the outer quads, okay? So kind of lean over onto it. Now remember, with the foam roller, get all your weight on it, very slowly come just up the body. So you're slowly coming up. Anything that feels tight and gnarly, just stay on it for a few seconds, 5 or 6 seconds, let it ease. So this is a nice way just to check out how tight areas of the body are. It doesn't beat a skilled soft tissue therapist. Okay, so this is a good way of checking, should I book in and have a physio appointment, or use my sports therapist or whoever I use, ART practitioner, to always just try and come down the body. See, up the body rather than so you're coming up towards the heart.
Yes.
All right, and then you come off it and then go back on the foam roller. You're going to try and come all the way up over the hip, around TFL, but just take your time. So this is where we're going to start today. We're going to work primarily on the quads here, okay, and the lower back with the foam roller, okay. I won't bother boring you with this, but then we'll come back when we're using the odd ball, okay. So Harry's getting into his kind of lower back area, so lumbar rectus, QL, deep abdominal muscles, and it's a bit tight, isn't it? Yeah. So we've done the outer of both thighs, you're going to see this in the camera. Basically we work up with the foam roller. Now we're getting into the lower back and really just trying to open up through it, but it's very tight for him at the moment. Then we're going to use the odd ball. We're going to get into the top line of the glutes, the deep rotators, come around to the front a little bit here, see if there's anything going on around here, and then also use that on the calves. and I'm going to give him a couple of simple little things that he can do every night before he goes to bed. Okay. So now we're using the orb ball in those deep hip rotators, so piriformis, or the glutes. Okay, and then we're going to get down into the top line of the glutes a bit later on. So now we're working the kind of top line of the glutes, so it's kind of line in there, and just gently going forward and back over it. Okay, all of this is quite tight at the moment, but you haven't had any soft tissue really, have you?
Not really, no.
And it is important to stay on top of that. So the last area to work really with the orb ball is the calves, and just again using the other leg for weight, getting a bit of tension down through there, and then ideally you get your thumb in and you work through these areas in underneath the shin as well. Okay. So this is a nice little drill just to kind of get the SI joint moving a little bit. Okay, and we use the roller for a bit of feedback. Okay, so this really is like a hip mobility exercise. I'm just going to do that for kind of 20 or 30 seconds. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's burning a little bit.
Okay. So just got to hurry up, had a little walk about. So we've literally just done so far the soft tissue release work.
Yeah.
So foam rolling, and that one little SI joint drill, which was the primary. Now I've not gone on and done any PNF work with him, so stretching work or anything like that. Generally what we give is PNF if we're stretching, if you're manually stretching at home, 3 by 30 seconds, unless you're familiar with PNF, which I know. So how much different does your body feel just from that?
Just like, kind of night and day. I just feel, so much more freer. So.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so don't neglect your soft tissue. So the evening work before bed. So Harry's kind of had before a bit of plantar fasciitis and this tightness down in the feet. So every other day work with a tennis ball or something a little bit firmer, a trigger point ball if you've got one.
Yeah.
And you spend about a minute working through the feet. Again, when you find these tight areas, just pause and press down into them for 5 or 6 seconds at a time. Feel if they release a bit. You want to do this in the evening and then sleep on them. We find that that seems to work the best.
Yeah.
Obviously make sure you're hydrated as well. Okay, so I've not done any stretching work on Harry yet. Like I say, right now where we are, it's pointless trying to give him lots of strength and conditioning drills that realistically he's not going to do, number one, and B, they're not going to have a huge effect.
Yeah,
okay.
fair enough.
So it's much more about just keeping the body up together. Kind of the strength phase is, we've done that. We've proved that getting strong has made a big effect.
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
In kind of 5 minutes off your PB run time, isn't it? It's not a bad go. Okay, so first thing I want to do. Okay, so we check the medial malleoli, the knees, all your basic anchor points visually are okay, which they are. Okay, and just relax. I'm just going to basically have a look at his general mobility. See what we get there. Tell me when it's tight.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's tight. That's okay. Relax. It's so nice and relaxed. Okay, that's not too bad, is it? And then if you just bend the knee. And this is where we're tighter. Okay, so the primary is going to be this rotation here at the moment. On the left side, look at the right.
Sweaty legs.
A little bit, yep. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same there. It's just it's holding on a little bit harder there. Some huge differences here so far. So what I'm doing, the knee is placed basically in line. I'm just drawing in slightly as we go into rotation. Now you can see we've got quite a bit more rotation here at the moment. And if I take that tight,
Yeah.
So generally he's not stretching his hip rotators as much. He's a bit more locked up on the left side, and he's been getting a little bit more left lower back pain, right?
Yeah.
So that word. So what we'll do, so I'm locking his other foot with my leg here, lined up, rotate just a little, and then I'm using my knee here to just feel the stretch. Now when you push, I want you to push this into me and rotate this way, okay? And gently push for 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1, and relax. There you go. And again, push, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. There we go. Good. One more push. 3, 2, 1, and relax. There we go. Good. So we've got a fair bit more range there. So things are just holding on a little bit.
Yeah.
Just come up slowly, have a little walk around. What do you feel? Just squat a couple of times and see.
Loose. Yeah.
So do you feel like we've gone into another layer, or?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that feels a lot nicer there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a couple of drills to just work on really simple drills, just using a yoga brick. I'm at home, or a foam roller. We'll film those here in a second. The only other thing I'm going to do before I do that is a global release on the masseter, but I'm not going to actually film that one. So with this, he's actually working the left glutes, just locking that position at the shoulder and at the hip. Can you feel, whereabouts can you feel this? Glutes, hamstrings?
Glutes, a lot.
A lot.
Hamstrings, fair amount, and then quads as well.
Okay. And then change sides. And this is working through the other side. Main thing, you'll be able to see it better on the camera here, as you come up, put a nice straight line between knee, hip and shoulder. Okay. And the brick just gives you a bit of kind of feedback more than anything. Really helps you isolate that other side. Well done. Okay, so we've worked through all the soft tissue moves. Body's feeling better.
Good, yeah.
The one thing we do want to stay on top of is obviously our simple core work. We're going to work through a nice little 7-minute routine. We're actually going to film it in full, but what we're going to do, initially in the learning phase, we go 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Gives Harry a bit of a breather. It's not just a position. You're looking for the contraction, and you're looking for the area where you want to feel the contraction. So with this, I am going to be quite hands-on and pushing and pulling him around. Obviously, he'll then be without me for this. Trying to wake up the areas that we want to target within this. So there's doing abs, and there's doing abs, or there's training and there's training. You're always looking for what can I actually feel. Now, bear in mind, it's 3 o'clock now on the hottest day of the year so far. Okay, it is warm in here, isn't it? It is warm. So I'm just going to set up a timer. If you go down, we're going to start you in front support, so like the top of a press up.
Yeah.
Probably best if you turn fully side onto the camera, mate.
Yeah.
And up and hold. This is going to work. So the main thing with the front support is we're tucking the pelvis like he's doing well underneath. Okay? He's pulling his weight forward. And then if he can, holding that support, very lightly rotate a few times. Now he's just trying to find the obliques in here where my fingers are. And it's a very small motion. And then I want you to lift one, go back to neutral, stay tucked, 1 foot just up and off, hold. So now we put more of a transverse plane through it, change feet, and rest. Well done. Okay, the next one, if you turn to face the camera, so you need to go up this way. We're going to go left arm down, side plank.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, feet towards me. Feet towards me, so you turn to face the camera. Alright? Good. So your right leg's in front. That's it. Hips forward, pushing up. All the pressure is between this foot and this hand. Take this arm up and look up to the palm of the ceiling. And it's as though I'm pushing down, you're resisting, but you're working the obliques on this side, and you can really feel that difference with me pushing down. If this is easy, you lift this leg up in front, bend the knee, there, and hold. And now this is putting a rotational drag on him, which makes it a lot harder. So again, with stability, we've still got to try and hit the 3 planes of motion, not just one. Time!
Wow, that's hard.
Alright. So just, yeah, head this way, then we can still see on the camera. Just rest, breathe. Like I said, with this, you might want to just contract for a few seconds hard and then release a little, but you never go slack. So that foot in front, good. So again, first area, we're thinking of pulling between here and the hand, looking up. I'm going to press down on the hip, so we're waking up all this area here. Good, hold that. And we're always looking, are we pushing the hips forward? That's a key. Then bring the knees slowly up to you. And now we've got that transverse plane, so that rotational plane involved a lot more. Good, hold it there. 10 to go. Really pull between the 2 points, pull between them.
Oh my god.
Yay, okay, you got it, there you go. Alright, time. Now the next one's a plank, and with the plank, we're going to clasp our hands together. We're going to be pulling our elbows towards our feet, feet towards our elbows. We're going to again bring that little rotation and then single legs as well. So find a good strong plank. So again, you're tucking under, good. Now, with all cyclists, they tend to round a lot here. So try and tuck your chin in and try and bring your head up to find my hand, which is a bit further. Come on, there it is. Now tuck your chin in more. Yeah, so this is what we'll... Now in this, now pull your chest down towards the floor, good. And then push back up. Pull down towards the floor, push back up, but keep the tension on here. Pull down, push up. So you use this to mobilize as well. Pull down. And again. And rest. Good. Don't forget, if you're doing that, you're still bracing through the midsection, you're not letting it go slack. Onto your back, dish holds. So with your dish holds, remember, 1, 2, extending, or fully extended, 3. Okay. So 1, into 2, so into the lock. Now the main thing with 2 is, you've got to keep your shoulder blades up off the floor, okay? Bring the knees up, hold that position, and then extend one leg fully, and then alternate. So as this one comes in, the other one goes out. There you go. This is 2 beam. We've got to make sure the lower back stays down, still holding up. Well done. Now all the way out to 3. So both legs out and hold. Point the toes away from you. Good. Hold. And again, you should really be braced. Good. Nice and solid. Nice and solid. Nice and solid. Nice and solid. Time. And don't forget to breathe. Turning over onto your front, we're going to go for the cobra. So, back to the hands touching the floor. You're going to rotate as you lift the chest up off the floor. So, lie down, back to the hands touching the floor. Okay, so lift and rotate as far around as you can. Squeeze the glutes, come up and hold. Now focus in on the glutes. Focus in here, try and get more rotation. So we're trying to rotate the biceps out, away from the body, keep breathing. Good, keep breathing. So the focus isn't so much the lower back, it's more this mid-back area, this rotation at the shoulder, squeezing glutes. 10 seconds. Breathe. Rest. Last one, turn it over. And we're going to go into back support. So hands back behind you. And you're going to be lifting your hips up into a bridge, but a straight leg. So keep the legs straight. And you're just driving the hips up like so. Good. Ready? Good. Now look up to the ceiling. Bring the feet together. So we're always looking at where we can reduce base of support. Okay, push up into my hands. Push, 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 push. And we're looking to open up through the chest. So really open up here. Good, looking up. Now the glutes should be locked, and I should be able to put a pressure on him from the side, and he shouldn't move at all. So this is how I'm testing. Is he now strong through frontal plane? Good, Harry. 10 seconds to go. Keep the feet together, keep squeezing, breathe. Tuck your chin a bit now, mate. Tuck your chin just a little, just a little. Tight. So that gives him a couple of times a week a nice little structure, 30 minutes to do at home, okay? And it's not quite as easy as it looks, is it?
No, definitely not.
And again, like with everything we do, it's finding the training within the training. All right? Anything to add or good?
Sweaty.
All right.